and thank you so much again for joining me today. My name is Roxette, and today we're going to talk about how to raise black children in Germany.
niba ukuri kwawe kwanshengura umutima disi ndirimbira nubwo ijwi ryawe ryaba ari iyanga gumana nanjye niyo waba ufite aho kujya mbwira mutima n'ibibyo nibwira.
I know there are many black people living in Germany, and there are so many black children and interracial children also living here. So as an African, as much as I want my children to have the African culture, but it is also important for your children to also know the German culture so that they can interact with other people, because they're not only going to be interacting with Africans but also Germans. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is that teach your children the German language, speak the German language at home. You can even mix both languages, because I also speak with my children German, I mix it with English and some with Swahili inside, and they're just getting along well. So make sure that your children can speak the German language to make it easy for them to, when they're in kindergartens or in schools or in the playgrounds playing with other children, it is very important for them, because that will make them have an easy time communicating with one another and just interacting with everybody in general. So another thing I want to tell you guys is that raising black children in Germany is not same as when you raise a black child in Africa, because in Africa we are all the same and we're all equal, so our blackness doesn't matter. But when you come to a country in Europe or in Germany or even in the United States, it's just something that we have to talk about. And that is why it is important to teach your children to love their skin color. Let them know the beauty of being black. Let them learn these things from you at home, telling your children that they are so beautiful the way they are. Because I remember when I came here, I really had a difficult time walking with curly hair or just my natural hair as it is, because I felt like people are going to look at me, but the people here look at you anyways, whether you're beautifully dressed or whether you're putting on some pajamas, they will always look at you. So one thing I'm going to emphasize on my daughters is just like, their hair is beautiful as it is, the skin color is just perfect as it is, and no one needs to tell them otherwise. When your children have this foundation from you, it is way better than when they go outside and people start telling them otherwise. So it is important just to tell them having curves is just beautiful and perfectly well, just like when you're slim and slender, when you have long straight hair, it is perfectly fine. That just nobody should tell them otherwise about their looks. Or another aspect I want to talk about is listening to your children, trusting them, believing in them, and letting them know that in case of any problems, they should think of their parents as the first person to call and not their friend or somebody else, because they know when they come back home to tell you about something they faced or some problems they encountered outside, you won't pay attention to your children, or maybe you will ignore them, or maybe even pick a fight or a quarrel with your children. Because I know African parents are strict. My parents were strict, and there are just some things I could talk to my parents and some things that I could just keep to myself or look for somebody else to talk to. So another advice I can tell parents living in Germany with black children is that try to have the trust with your children, that your children can talk to you about anything. Encourage your children to discuss with you, to debate with you, and not just always telling them no or yes, but you can also ask them, why do you think so? Tell me more about this. How did you come up to this idea? Let your children discuss and debate with you at home so that they can know how to express themselves later in the outside world. So I also know about white parents who have adopted black children. I can advise you that when your children are growing up, try to identify them with people from their culture, maybe looking for a friend. If you don't have black friends around, you can look for a black church nearby, or just look for neighbors or anywhere you can find a positive black role model who your child can identify with, to avoid your child looking and searching for their identity because they know you can't help them. I know of very many people who have adopted their children and they live too much of a white life, forgetting that their children are black and they have to be they have to deal with their blackness. This is just a matter that we have to talk about, because Sometimes you're in a place and it's the white people that make you feel like you don't belong there, because sometimes I'm just walking around and all of a sudden people look at me and ask me where I'm coming from, and then that's when I remember again that I'm a black person. But you know, these are issues that you don't face when you're in Africa, because everybody's just same. But sometimes here in Germany, when you live in a village where there are people who have never even seen black people apart from TVs. So the moment they're going to see you, it's just going to be staring and staring and staring. So teach your children that, let your children know that there are also black people around. Look for communities, just take them there, let them hang around, to avoid this searching of wanting to know where do I come from. If your child can understand, then it is better to tell them about their identity, about where they're coming from, so that they can have this peace of mind and not always looking for their background or where they come from. And also, I want to talk about teaching your child about racism. If your children can understand, the better. But if they can't understand yet, then you'll just have to wait until your children are older. So teach your children about racism. Let them know about their rights. And you can also let them know that police are to be respected. Let them know that there should be this fear of the police officer, but they should also know, how do I go about when a police stops me when driving or on the bike. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, for example, when your child is bullied in school because of their skin color or how they look like, and then most of the time maybe the children are not going to talk about it with you. So it is good to be observant on your child. Make sure you know when there's something wrong with your child. So maybe when they stop eating, or they just lock themselves in their rooms and not talk, or they say that they're sick and they can't go to school today, and you just know that your child is perfectly fine, then you have to know that there is something going on. And if you can manage to speak with your child, and your child opens that up to you and tells you that they're being bullied or discriminated in school, then the first thing you have to do is immediately go to school, go to the school director, go to the class teacher, and talk to them with your child there, and just listen to the circumstances, how everything went about. Sometimes the teachers are going to take you serious and help you solve the issue your child is facing, but there are also sometimes when you'll feel like the teacher is saying, okay, we're going to deal with the issue, but you feel like, okay, 2 or 3 weeks later it's just the same thing going on. That is why it is important that your child should know that they should never let another child discriminate them. Because if you remember, I said, let your child discuss, talk with you, debate with them, teach them about their skin color. When such things happen at a younger age, when the children go to school, they will not even let other children speak bad about them, because they'll say, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, and I am perfect the way I am. I do not even want to change. I love my color the way it is, and I am beautiful. So you know, when a child tells you something like that, even you, if you are the braces, you're just going to take a step back and say, okay, I didn't expect that to come. But when somebody just attacks you immediately and you just shrinks immediately, then they're going to do it every day. So teach your child to toughen up, to just know that this is the life they're going to face in Germany. Even if the school is perfect, maybe you go to the playground or to the, I don't know, supermarket or in the playground, and you'll always find somebody that is just not happy with you wherever you are. So toughen up, kids. Let your children know that, no, I'm not going anywhere. I am here. I am a German just like you, and I'm going to play and stay here. I'm sure if your children just do that, there's nothing going to happen. And if it happens, if you talk to school, if this bad character of racism and discrimination doesn't change, then I can advise you guys to change school, for the sake of your child, for your child to have just a peace of mind and just have a peaceful childhood. Then as a parent, I think I can decide to change the school for my child, hoping that something like that is not going to happen in another school. Just during this process of changing school, you also have to continue talking with your children, continue giving them the courage to speak out, and then everything will just be perfectly fine. So another thing that I think it is important telling or teaching your children is being able to help other people. As much as I want my kids to be great people in the society, I also want them to be humble. They should notice when somebody is in need of help, and also just leave everything they're doing and help this person, because I know how it is in Germany. When you need help, you're a black person, you can't speak and nobody can help you because they're just passing by. You can't speak and you can't just articulate yourself and let people know what's going on. So I faced this challenge so many times. When you see a new mother in Germany with a little child, and maybe she wants to get in the bus and doesn't know how to buy a bus ticket, and people are just going, or the bus driver is about to leave. I'd like that when my children maybe come from school and get to such a scenario, that they can identify, okay, this African mom needs help, she can't book the ticket or buy the ticket. Just go teach your children to just be open and ask, hey mom, can I help you? Because you know, they are Germans, they are born here in Germany, they can speak the language perfectly, they know the African culture, and they know also what challenges black people face. So when your children are at this teenage age where they can just openly go about or talk to people, if they identify or notice that another black person is facing a problem and it is not something that is going to put their life in danger, I'd advise you parents to please teach your children to be able to go to these people. If somebody wants to ask for something and they can't ask for this thing because they don't know the language, almost every black person I've met here in Germany speaks English. Just go to them and ask them, hey, do you need anything? Can I help you? This is not only for children, but also for us other Africans. Just don't pass by somebody standing there, because most of the time you'll notice when somebody is in need of help in their face or by their nervousness. Just go to these people, ask for help, ask them if they need any help, and if you can help them, they'd really appreciate it, because when these people go home, they're just going to think about, wow, today I was facing some difficulties and a black child or a black man helped me out, and I'm so grateful. So guys, these are just some of the things I wanted to share with you guys. The list is just too long, but if you can share these ideas, share this video with other black parents who are just coming into Germany and don't know how to go about such issues, I'd really appreciate if you share my video, subscribe to my video guys, and if you like everything about it, let me know about what you think in the comments down. If you face any form of racism or discrimination here, just share with me your ideas down in the comments so that we can find a solution to everything. Thank you so much, and see you next time.